Hi friends, it's Sonia, your over 50 makeup gal. I love hair, makeup, skincare, pretty much all things beauty. And I have so many things I want to do with you today. So you're going to see a couple links right here, and you're going to see a link to a color match. And I really want to cover that really quickly with you, because if you want this makeup and you're tired of not having makeup that's not working, not being able to find makeup that's working, makeup that you've done all your life, and then suddenly it's setting in your lines, and you just woke up and you're like, I just had someone message me today, they're like, I woke up and I don't know what happened. And I'm like, I completely understand. It's just like this thing, and you're over 40 or over 50, and here you are, and it's fine. We just have to look at our faces differently. That's what I totally want you to do. I don't want you to focus on the things that are happening necessarily, but I want you to focus on things that we can do with dimension and lift with makeup that will enhance and get us the best version of ourselves. I love my makeup more now than I ever have. I truly, truly do. And I want you to also. So I got a lot of stuff I want to cover. Seint, the company that I'm with, this is a one compact makeup. Okay. All right. Here it is. It's a cream-based makeup, and I'm very, very passionate about it because when I look at my face and I'm going to do my makeup, I can't do it like I used to. I had fallen on CC creams and BB creams, and I tried literally everything. I had a huge basket, well, not everything, but a huge basket of stuff. And I only have one eye done, by the way, a huge basket of stuff. And, I still couldn't find it. And so I got to where I just really wasn't wearing much of anything. I mean, a little bit of mascara. I had some black eyeliner on, and we called it good. And that's not what I wanted, though. I wanted more. I wanted to still be able to wear it. So I found this lady that was doing a color match with this cream makeup, and she's putting it in strategic areas and talking all about mature skin and all the things. And it really piqued my interest because I also hated going in the store and trying to find my color. That was the other thing, and I can do that for you. So that link there is a color match. You can do that. I can also match you to eyeshadows, skincare quiz, whatever you want. And then the other link is to shop. We have new releases today. So if you're a Seint user, you're going to be like, yes, their site crashed. It's back, so it's moving. But what we're going to do is this other eye. I did this eye because I wanted to see what it was going to look like, and I really enjoy it. So I'm going to use some colors that Seint already has, but I'm going to incorporate one of their new Advent colors. So if you're a Seint person and you want to buy this Advent calendar, which is fun, it's right here. You save a lot of money buying it all together, but it's one of those things that you can pull the eyeshadows out per day. I have them all in a palette right now, and I'm using one of them, and I am smitten with it. So they are all chrome or metallics, and you're like, oh wait, can I do those? It really is up to you, but you can do them as a mature lady. They're really, really pretty. Hey, and they're really, really pretty. They're fun. You can see how they're marbled. Maybe they call them marbled, but I think they called them chrome. And then these are the metallic. And believe it or not, what color do I have? Yeah, I have this color on my lid. So good. But I'm going to show you how to apply a shimmer with a balm. Never done it before, but I just did it because it can kind of have fallout and things. So I usually apply with my finger. But couple key things as a mature lady. Put all this new releases aside. A couple things as a mature lady is I want you to keep in mind, no matter what I'm doing, that we need to less is best. It's never too late for skincare. This is a balm stick. If you want help getting this, it's a skincare line that I use. Your skin needs to be hydrated. I do not have overly dry under eyes, but I know a lot of people do. And this works great. This works great anywhere though. Like I put it on my lips a lot. I have several of them throughout the house, and you can put them, I'm getting laser hair removal. And so down here, I'm shaving my chin because you don't want to tweeze them. And so sometimes I'll take the balm stick and put that there as a little bit of extra hydration also. So skincare matters. Less is best on the makeup. And I really want to hit on that just a little bit because you're like, how do you wear less? So less in the liquid world would be, let me take this, and if I went like this and poured it out and had a sponge, that means I need to use half of that. No, that's not what we're doing. We're going to take this cream makeup and it is customized to you, customized to your face, your colors, what you want. This is one of the new palettes, the new releases, and it can be smaller, it can be big like what I want, whatever you want. You get to design it. So we get to design it together. I'm your artist. I'm very passionate about customer care. If any of my customers are in here, they can tell you that I do not ignore you. Although my texting is not working. So just so someone knows, this is November 15th. My texting is not working. So my email is though. So if you've texted me and you're like, no, you don't take care of me, I can't get your stuff. Okay. So let's do the eye. Let's concentrate on that. But less is best. Let's focus on lift and dimension throughout this entire video. And I want you to stop criticizing yourself. I don't need to say anything more about that. Okay. Stop criticizing yourself. And we're going to focus on what we can do with what we got. Okay. All right. So I'm going to use some shades that Seint has had, and there's kind of 3 matte shades, but I'm mixing a little bit. And we're going to take these double-ended brushes that I thought I had laid out. There we go. Double-ended brushes, and we're going to use them, and we're going to put on primer on your eyelids. I don't feel like you need a primer on your face underneath the makeup, but on your eyelids, because they do this all day long, you need primer, and it helps the eyeshadow to pop and to stick. Okay. This is Paris, and I'm going to take it with the fluffy end, and I'm going to put it all over this mobile lid, and we're just going to recreate this look right here. Now, I'm going to give you freedom to do whatever you want with this, because if you're not a purple gal, you're going to be like, bleh. And I don't like overly purple on my lids. I've decided I just don't. So I brown it out. So I'm going to give you, take the colors out and listen to the tips that I'm giving you. So hooded eyes, we need a lighter, typically matte, I'll put all over on my mobile lid and a little bit into my crease. And I picked Paris, Chai, Cupcake. Pulp is a great, nice, cool color. And then if you're fair skinned, you're gonna wanna grab London. If you're a little bit darker like me, Amethyst, or I mix them. And this is where it's like, Sonia, really? Well, I did. I just had to. So London's a matte. They call Amethyst a shimmer, but I would take that to the bank and argue, okay, I saw one shimmer in there. It's not a shimmer. Okay, we're going to take London and hooded eyes. We're going to look at ourselves in the mirror, and we got the face. We got the face. We just do when we have hooded eyes. But we're going to take it up, and we're going to, well, here, let's use the pointed, the more dense end. And we're going to go above the crease. See, it just doesn't show up very much for me. London doesn't. There we go. That's why I had to grab Amethyst. And we're going to put it above the crease so you can see it. That's all we're going to do. So there's a lift. You just created lift on your face. Because not only with hooded eyes tend to be droopy also. Like you can see from my side, see how that's drooping down? They're typically hooded and droopy. And so we just need to give them a little bit of lift. And that's just what we did by getting it above the crease. Now I'm going to take a little bit of Amethyst here, and I'm going to fluff it here on the outer part of my eye, just to add a little bit more dimension right out here. So we can go like this. Now I do this paper trick, and the paper trick helps you to not get your eyeshadow too low out here. But one of my lovely followers, thank you, Mary, she's so sweet. One of my followers suggested this little makeup paddle. It's like $1 something off Amazon. I should have put the link in here. You go from here to here. If you don't want to buy this, don't use a paper. I don't think one is better than the other, honestly. I go from the corner of my eye out here, and I go like this. And what we're doing is we're making sure we're not going too low, and we kind of create this little wing, but we don't have to do that. See? Okay. This side doesn't have that, and I love that. I love that line, a little bit of lift, and I need it over here. So let's put that paper over here. I should have used the paddle. Forgot what I was doing. It's fine. Okay. And let's create a little bit of that line over there. Okay. That's a lot of purple and pink. It's a lot of purple and pink for me, and it may be for you, but any eye color can wear it. No one can argue with me on that. You can if you want. But I feel like personally that I have blue eyes and I can wear. I feel like green eyes really work really, really well with this purple, but brown eyes do too. right? Let's not get stuck in a rut. Okay, so these are the Advent shades. They all come together. You cannot buy these separately. You have to buy them together. I put a link in here if you want to go look at them. It's fine, and see how much they are. You do have a savings buying them this way, but we're going to use that shade. Isn't that fun? But we're going to brown it out a little bit. So I'm going to try something with y'all. We're going to take a multitasker brush like this. That's not the one I had. So let me wipe this one off. This is a multitasker brush, and I'm going to dip it into balm. There are other things that you can use, but this is a balm from Seint. Gosh, guys, if you buy this, it's going to last you. You're never going to run out. And I'm going to put a little bit of balm on here to pick up the shimmer. Because what I usually do, guys, is I'll take my finger like this and I'll put it on like that. And it works really, really great. But I thought, you know what? I think that I need to, lost which one I just did. Oh, got too many of these right here. And I'm going to try this because I think for some of us, it's better with a brush. So I balmed this. I'm not going to put it down because I'm going to lose it. And I'm going to take this shade. And this shade is actually called Sugared. And see how it has purple and gold in it? Which was my school colors as a kid. Dip into this very gently because I really boogered into it and you don't need to do that. So it's got the balm and it's going to stick. I think you can stick the balm on your lid prior to also. So we're just going to stick it on like so. Whoop! I shouldn't have done that. And we're just going to press it in. And another hooded eye tip, okay? And this one, I had someone kind of argue with me about it because she thought it looked fine the other way. So when you have hooded eyes, let me find my little pointer thing here. When you have hooded eyes, that's this part here that's hanging over. It also hangs here for a lot of us. Some of us it doesn't. But that right there, if you get a light shade on here or a shimmer on there, it will pop the hood, which is what you don't want. It's going to accent the hood. So try the best that you can to keep that shimmer on. You can grab your eye and pull it over on that mobile lid as much as possible. At least for me, that's what I like. Okay, so we're going to brown out the purple. And this is nothing but preference. I got Hot Mess Express because I knew I was going to do this. I thought I pulled my chai. I did pull my chai out. Hang on. So I'm going to take, not chai, I'm going to take, what is this? Cafe. Cafe is just a nice medium brown. It's a great, I probably suggest it in 99% of my eyeshadow matches. And I'm just going to brown out, take this brush, eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to brown out the purple just a little. Why not, right? Okay. So we're just going to take it and brown it out. That's all. Make sure I didn't have too much shimmer in my crease. And then we're going to call it good. If you feel you got willy-nilly with your eyeshadow, these are just finishing touches. Here's Cupcake. And we're going to take that small end and we're just going to line underneath that eyebrow. These are, again, finishing touches. You see how that's kind of a rough edge on the purple there? We're just going to blend it really gently. See how that just kind of, it makes it a little bit more subtle and kind of slides in a little bit. So that was one of the Advent shades and I really like it. And let me swatch it for you. So this is what they mean by metallic. Like, see how it's purple and gold all at the same time? Isn't that fun? Someone I saw was talking in this, I'm sorry, side note, while we're going over to face makeup. Someone was talking about, they said, if you had a unicorn color in your mind, what would it be? An eyeshadow. It's right here. It's called Flurry. Isn't that the funnest ever? So let me, now this one I think is, well, I'm not even going to say what they say it is. So you really see, it's a lot of the white, but you can see a little bit of the other colors, but not a lot. It's very, very subtle. It's like cotton candy to me. I just think it's really fun. Okay, so let's move on to eyes. Now, if any of you ever touch up your eyes, hang on, I'm grabbing something. If you guys ever touch up your eyeshadow and you have mascara on already, I know for you guys, you can take mascara. You can take your eyebrow pen or an eyeliner or something and go over where the sparkles have fallen on your eyelashes. I know a lot of you like fake eyelashes out there because I get asked about them all the time. Just a little side note trick. All right, let's go into cream makeup and how we do our makeup differently as a mature woman right here. But we're going to use some of the new release lip and cheek shades. They're here. They're so good. We have a matte. We have 4 semi-glosses and 2 glosses. I believe Ever Red is a gloss. So this one comes back every holiday, but the rest of these are new releases and they're so pretty. This one, even though it looks as orangey as it does, or is that the color corally, it is very lightly pigmented. So don't be fooled about those. Hi guys. Holographic is the word. That really is the... Hi, I'm drinking out of a cup as big as my head. So here's the deal. I put 2 tea bags in there and I needed a lot of water. So it's actually tea. But that's a little obnoxious looking, isn't it? So anyway, we're going to put these on. But I want to show you how you use less makeup. And you're going to be strategic with your makeup instead. And it's not hard, I promise you. It's just different. And I think for some of us, you know, we've done makeup the same almost for 17, or since we were 17, 15, 14, 13, probably. And we're, you know, 50 plus. And it's a new way to look at your face. And so we're going to do this and we're going to use this makeup, but we're going to use different blush. So when you look at your face, like I'm going to look at mine, and you're not going to talk about what's wrong with your face. Okay. Oh, by the way, I have this lip oil on. I'm interjecting all the new releases. We've only ever had a lip oil one time, and it's just a lip oil, and they release these. They have a slight smell to them, like caramel apple and whatever. I have this one on, which is caramel apple. It is, that's the color payoff. So it's pretty good, but it does have a little bit of a caramely apple smell to it. So we're not going to complain about what's on our faces, but we're going to focus on lift and dimension. And one of the first things that we're going to do is we're going to tone our face. A lot of you, before you do your makeup, you don't have to do this. I find I like it, is I'm going to put bronzer on first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create dimension by putting bronzer up here. And this will help me from, I won't be layering any of the makeup on my head, my forehead. And then I have some little bit of pink right here and then a little here, but I'm going to put the bronzer back here and it's just going to kind of tone. That's the word I'm going to use. And I'm going to use Bella, and I'm going to just tone out my skin. So I'm going to go over here on this side, and I have a longer face. So I'm actually going to put a little bit right here, but you can do it however you want and get it up into that hairline. Guys, there is nothing worse than seeing bronzer and white scalp. Yes, there is something worse, but get it just blended up in there. Oh, I just shouldn't have said that. Okay, let's put a little bit back here and tone it out. And sometimes this will really even out like melasma, sunspots, that type of thing. And then I have a white here. So we're just going to fill that in. You can take bronzer, honestly, and stick it all over. If you just want to kind of warm things up a little bit, you can do that. It's totally up to you. You do it wherever you think. So we're added a little bit of dimension. You can see kind of how you're like, okay, I look like I already have makeup on and I have so very little. And next, when you get a color match, most of my customers get suggested 2 main shades. And you're gonna be like, why? Well, these are $16. So don't think like they're not horribly expensive, in my opinion. They last a long time. Hey, Georgia. The size La Duo, it's not the Grande or Grand. It's the normal. The Grande is way too big for me. No, the Grande is long. Yeah, it would be way too big for me. Yes, normal size. I'm so sorry. I think someone asked me, I need to get back with you. Hi. Okay. So we did that next, and most of you will get 2 shades for your main shade because we are going to use less makeup. And if we have redness, we think we need to pack on another shade that we're not going to do. So we're going to take this brush and then, yes, yeah. And like Mary said, I think bronzer really does wake our faces up. It really does. I mean, look at my face now. I almost have nothing on and it's waking it up. Okay. So we're going to go into this darkest shade on the darker areas. Okay. So if you have makeup at home and you're like, I don't want to change the Seint, well, then you just use 2 different shades. You're going to go in here because if I stick a lighter shade on here, I'm going to create texture and I don't want to create texture. I have enough of that happening on my own. This is texture. I have acne scarring. That's texture. I don't want to add to it. So we're going to go like so. Okay. And that was just on my redness. And I'm going to take care of my under eyes with that color. You can call it your concealer, but I rather call it our main shade because people get confused with, I was like, it's your 2 main shades. You're going to use 2 on your face. That was 6. So we're going to go into my next main shade right here next to it. Yay, Magina. Let me know how you like it. It's a learning curve. A little bit of a learning curve, but yeah, let me know. You can straighten your hair with it too. Okay, and this is just going everywhere that I did not put makeup. That's all I'm doing now. So I don't even really need any here because I already put some bronzer and I am using the least amount as possible. As you can see, my face isn't looking cakey. It's not looking overly makeuped, and that's what we want. We want the least amount of makeup that we can get on, and we can, some of us might even use less than others, but we don't want to add texture. So we want just a little on. Now, I have people say to me a lot, my makeup doesn't glide on like you. So when you are using this, do you see how my makeup, this is what you don't see. You don't see a big divot of me going like that out of it. We cannot do that. You're going to go like this, excuse me, and you're going to do this. I'm going to get too much on by doing this, but you're going to simply tap and tap in. And sometimes when I work with people, they get too much. And sometimes when I work with people, they don't even get enough, but I'm like, that's okay. It is buildable. It's buildable. Like I'm covering my redness. Okay, I need a little more. You know what I mean? That's what I'd rather you do than scrape it out and then get too much on. Okay, so everything is on. I haven't attacked my under eyes yet. Hi, Netherlands. What's up? We are going to, what are we going to do? Let's contour. I don't always contour, guys. And if you are brand new to contouring and you want to try this makeup, it's okay to skip contouring for now. Go to the bronzer. I would rather have you do bronzer and just swing back later and we can contour. It's okay. I want you to get this part down and I want you to feel comfortable before you go do that. Okay, so let's take this small end of my blend brush. This is the first blend brush I ever bought. It's one of my favorites. We're going to tap into a contour. Contours are harder than bronzer. Bronzers are softer and usually more orange. Contours tend to be a little bit more ashy. This one's a little bit warmer. And sometimes for us older ladies, we have a lot of sunspots in this area, a lot of melasma. And that's the other thing that I have found is if you use an ashy contour, it can accent those spots. So just be really careful. I will help you pick those out. And just let me let me know if you have a lot or if I see a lot. I may say just skip the contour or you have to go around it. So do you see how I contoured higher? Then really my underneath is really about right there. So I went just a little bit higher than actually I would contour because I want lift. And that's what this is creating. And again, and we're going to stop here at the corner of my eye because I'm sinking in right there. And that we don't want to accent. Oh, yes. Yes. It's the best when you get out. Okay, so Mary's saying she got a compliment on her makeup. Contouring. Okay, hang on. Let's contour this lip because I like this lip. I don't do it all the time, but let's take a smaller brush and watch this. I can't do a lot on my lips because I have small lips and there's a lot of lines around them. But I like sticking just a little bit under there. You can do the nose, you can do all kinds of things, but let's just not worry about that. I'm going to do my under eyes next. Okay, so here's something I'm going to teach you, and I'm going to try to make this fast. My under eyes are light, purple, blue. Both of them. And I do have these little suckers there, and we'll address those. I'm actually going to darken my under eyes, and you're like, what are you saying? You have lost your ever-living mind. Yes, I have. Because a lot of us have very dark under eyes right here, and then we have white, and then we have white. Darken the white areas with something like suede lip liner if you're fair, Bella bronzer if you're maybe a little bit darker like I am. I've been mixing them because obviously it's going into that time of year that I'm losing color in my face. So you're just going to see me very gently. I'm going to kind of stay out of this area because I have a dip and a vein. So I'm kind of just going to very lightly, the least amount as possible, darken the light areas. And I'm going to blend in that purple, blue, and then I'll use my darkest shade on those areas. So I'll use the dark shade on my darkness. And I'm using bronzer and suede lip liner to darken the under eye. See the difference, how it's just kind of started flowing together? See how, even though I haven't used concealer, how that's kind of going away? Say, well, now I'm going to use the concealer. What I mean by that is my darkest shade that I used on my redness. And we're just going to very, very, very lightly put that on there. And that's going to help disguise it. Okay. Now, I'll address this little dip-de-doo thing here in a minute. So we're just going to do the exact same thing. Suede lip liner, a little bit of Bella bronzer. If there's anything that I get really excited about and a concept that works for people is this, but I understand it's a hard concept because just like with the redness, we have always thought to ourselves, I need to put something light on my redness to get rid of it because the light will counteract. You know, I have dark red and I have light. And so if I put them, they'll meet in the middle. And what ends up happening when you do that for us older ladies, it gets cakey because we have to use too much. It doesn't cover the redness. We don't get longevity and it's just a hot mess. And instead you put a darker shade. And like I said, that link is here. I can help you with that. All right, now I'm going to use that darker shade here like so. Okay. Under eyes are darkened. Okay. This is a real side note. Now let's not do this right now. Okay, let's go into the lip and cheek. Let's go into the fun, super fun. These are the new releases. I don't even know what I'm going to use yet. So we have a purpley brownish on my eyes. I don't really have a purpley brown here though. I have Ever Red. That's kind of pinky. Like so, right? Yeah, Mary, you have darker under eyes, don't you? Yeah, and you have to darken around it. Think of that even around the melasma areas and all the things. I don't know what I'm going to use. I think I'm going to mix. I'm going to mix some shades here. So let's pull out one of my pink shades that I own. And I think I'm going to mix in another one. I'm going to take Pink Grapefruit, which is a matte shade that we have. That's one of my very, very favorites. That I can't find. It's fine. Let's just use what we got. Okay, let's pull this one out and see what we got. This one is, I can't find my, oh my gosh, someone kill me. Hi, this one right here. What? Oh yeah, it's all right, Mary. Okay, this one here, I literally cannot read it. Yep, can't read it. So sorry. It's a semi-gloss. It looks very, very, very pink. So let's see what happens on the cheeks with it. So let's go lightly in and let's tap on the cheeks. Okay. And I am going to mix. So I'm going to tap on the cheeks like this. So semi-gloss is just like the paint on the wall. When they say semi-gloss, it's just like semi-gloss. That's exactly what it is. So you'll have your satin that you stick on the walls and semi-gloss and gloss, and that's exactly what these are. We didn't have a lot of semi-glosses, and I'm really, really glad that they're bringing in 4 because they're a really nice in between. So we have our satins, and we have a lot of them, and then we have a lot of glosses, but we didn't have a lot of semi-glosses If you're brand new, I like you to start with a satin, but the semi-gloss, I'm kind of okay with. It's just they're a little bit tackier, and it's something you need to work with. But they're good. See that? Isn't that pretty? I mean, you would look at that and go, but it's good. So, I don't know if it's Darlene, but so when you have dark under eyes, you're not putting the dark on the dark. You're putting the dark around the dark. So the concept of it is when you have something dark, like a dark under eye, let me just show you my eye. So when I have a dark under eye here, what's actually making that look darker is the light around it. So kind of think about that for a minute. So when my under eyes were really white right here, and mind you, I don't have really dark under eyes, but if I have that really dark gray, brown, blue under eye right there, and this is white, if I stick light on that, it ends up looking gray a lot of the time. It's hard to get coverage. There are some colors that you can go on there to counteract, like oranges and peach colors work, but it also works really, really well to get rid of the light around the dark. So you're not putting okay, let me hit back to that because she said dark on there and she is right, okay? So I did say dark on dark. So you're gonna darken around it, and then I'm gonna take a darker orangey shade for me to get rid of the blue and the purple right there. So it could be other colors for you, but it gets rid of that, and you don't want them to look gray. If you put a light color like this, a brightener on top of your dark, it's usually not going to last. You have to use too much, and I say less is best. And so then therefore put a darker color on there, but sometimes you need straight out color correction, and I get that. So you might have to use like a peachy shade or some shade with some yellow, something like that. Okay, so the blush, I'm leaving it alone. I lied to y'all. Whatever dang color this is that I wish I could read, is super, super pretty. I have to read this because how do you know how to buy it? I'm putting in a formal complaint to Seint. I can't read that. But here's the problem. Or here's what's something amazing. I just let me banter for give me 10 seconds to be a baby. You see how big that is? That is heaven. I can read that. I can't read it. So anyway, that really bubblegum pink, it might be Strawberry Fields. The other one might be Strawberry. That is super pretty. And I am not going to mix anything with it. I really, really, really like it. So we're just going to leave it alone. And I put it on my fingers. You certainly can do a brush. Don't oversweep or you will sweep it away. There we go. All right. Brightening is going to be something that is going to take a little bit of practice, but I want you to think about this. There are areas on your face that you're going to create lift. And by creating lift, and they're very strategic areas, you're going to lift your face. And remember, we have a lot going on. I have a tear trough. I call these lines, I'm going to call them smile lines. You're welcome. Smile lines, laugh lines. I have jowls. Like I have a lot of shadows going on. And so we're going to play with light right now. And we're going to take, this is white peach. It's my color. It may not be your color. So let me help you with your brightener. Or if you just want to buy white peach, that's fine. But just remember, it's a fairly light color. So areas of light are going to be at the peak of your brow, the corner of your eye into the temple. It might be a little bit in here. It's different for all of us. If you have jowls, a little bit right there, a little bit right here, underneath your contour line. And then we can even stick a little bit of light in these lines and these troughs, okay? So I'm gonna take here and put at the top of my brow. Here, if you have too many crow's feet, you can take your regular highlight shade and just clean up your eyeshadow. You can put a little bit of lighter color in your temple because we're sinking in right there. Okay, you maybe can take a little right here on the top of you can even take illuminator there and create a little bit of lift. That's what we're doing, creating lift. And then like right here is an area that you need to be careful of. Don't get it into the texture of your under eyes. Okay, Then I'm going to put a dot here where my jowls have sunk in. And then I'm going to go right here. And then I'm going to carve this out. I'm kind of like carving out my cheekbone in a weird way. But by creating a little bit of light right here, wherever you put light is going to lift. Okay? But it can also add texture, so be really careful on your under eyes in those areas. Okay, so we just created lift. Clean this up. Take it into the temple. So are you guys working on not insulting yourselves? Remember that was the first thing I said you're not allowed to do? You need to stop looking at yourself and saying, I have this, I have that. It's one thing to be matter of fact, but to be about it, you know? We just beat ourselves up. We really do. We are worst enemies. A little bit right there. A little bit in the jowl pocket right here. And then I'm going to just blend. You can watch. I'll go real slow. I need to blend that blush a little bit better. I'm just carving out. I'm sorry, I'm like staring at myself in the mirror to make sure I'm doing it right. To carve out that cheekbone. You just created light. You're going to create light right here. I don't care if your eyebrows are like this. Okay? If you're, I know you don't look like that. But if your eyebrows are down, I don't care. Take a little bit of your eyebrow pencil or pen, whatever you use. Create a tiny, 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 tiny bit of an arch. As much as you can with it not looking silly. And put a little bit of light right there. And you're going to create a little bit of lift. You can even put a little bit right here. You can go down the center of your nose, end of your nose, and the Cupid's bow right here. Okay? You're just lifting. See? So good. And that's how you use less makeup, because I didn't do a lot. I look put together. I feel comfortable. I don't feel cakey. I don't look cakey. I don't look textured. I look more lifted and bright and awake. Okay. So as much as possible. And then this is Seint, and it's white peach. There. And the website, I think I linked it on here, but I can color match you to all your colors if you want. And it's free. So next I'm going to take a really small brush. I just put a reel out about this. And we're going to take very little, because remember, we want less is best. So my darkest areas, when you look at me, these are not, it's not dark under eye. It's literally shadow. It's shadows that are created from a tear trough. Now this is an exaggeration of how much makeup you should use. Don't use this much. The biggest shadow is here, and I'm going to put color in here. Don't put that much. Did you hear me say that? And then we're going to put color here. And we're going to put color here. Okay? There. Yes. Mary is so right. Now we're just going to blend it. And I have too much on. And I could get some texture. So we're going to be really careful. And I'm just going to put light, because light lifts up. And light can take this valley that I have and lift it up. Okay? And so I'll go like that. And because it was a shadow and it looked dark, it doesn't look bad next to where I darkened my under eyes. Now be careful right here. Something I want you to pay attention to. You see that fold? You're going to have to play around on how much light you put on top of that fold. I find if I put a lot of light on top of that fold, it accents the fold. So just be careful there. But you have to do this. You have to like at least take the brush or your finger and there. Yeah. Yes, Mary. She says, if I use light all over my face, will I look 30 again? Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice if that was the case? And as older women, we have to use darker makeup. So there's that. Okay. I'm done. All done. All done. I need to blend my blush in a little bit, but other than that, we are golden. This color that I can't read, I am so sorry about that, guys. I'm sure on the website you can tell. And anyway, because this really light pink one is a gloss. This one's a semi. So make sure it's blended, especially if you contoured. Make sure it's kind of blended into it. And start in the back. If I can tell anyone with blush, start back here and come forward. Don't start here and go like that, because we need the most concentration of makeup or blush back here to give us lift, like this. So when you're putting it on, I even take it up a little bit into my temple area. And it just, you know what I mean? It just creates a little, it draws that eye up when someone's looking at you. Like that. Yes. Yeah, much darker is right. And that's it. We're done. I'm going to soften the edges of my blush. I covered a lot, guys. If you're still here, bless your heart. Bless your heart. If you need a color match, if you need anything from me, you can click on the link that's here, and I will put it here after I post the video. All right. See you guys. Thanks so much for being here.